Hello, this is Bad Accent Video Reviews, and today we are talking about Ghost in the Cell. The latest work by Joko Anwar, one of the most prominent voices in Indonesian genre cinema, Ghost in the Cell had its world premiere at the Berlin International Film Festival in 2026. Over the years, Anwar has built an impressive international reputation with films such as Satan's Slaves, Gore and Gundala, blending horror, social commentary and commercial appeal in a way few Southeast Asian directors manage. With his 12th feature, he once again returns to familiar territory, but this time within the suffocating walls of a high-security prison. The premise is simple and deliciously macabre. In a prison ruled by a tyrannical warden and rigid hierarchies, inmates begin to die in gruesome, spectacular ways. Bodies are discovered arranged almost artistically as if the killer has a taste for morbid exhibition. Suspicion falls on Dimas, a former journalist convicted of murdering his editor, particularly after his cellmate who intended to kill him, ends up brutally slaughtered instead. Yet Dimas seems as terrified as everyone else. Ngoro, an inmate just months away from release, starts suspecting that something far stranger is at play. Rumors spread that a ghost follows Dimas, targeting those with a negative aura. As the body count rises, rival gangs and factions are forced to cooperate, attempting to decipher the rules of this invisible enemy. Between savage fistfights, spontaneous dance routines, and sudden collective prayers, the prisoners scramble not just to survive, but to understand what is hunting them. On the surface, this is a horror action spectacle packed with gore, brutal confrontations, and elaborately staged deaths. And in that regard, the film absolutely delivers. The action choreography is kinetic and impactful, the gore inventive and often gleefully excessive, and the packing keeps the narrative moving forward with confidence. The progression of the mystery in particular works quite well, gradually revealing the motivations behind the supernatural presence without completely demystifying it. However, as in many of Anwar's films, genre fireworks are only part of the equation. The prison, as the director himself has stated, functions as a miniature of Indonesian society. Power structures, corruption, opportunism, and survival instincts shape daily life behind bars just as they do outside. The warden with his political ambitions, the privileged inmates with connections, and the guards who weaponize the system for personal gain all reflect broader structural issues. The ghost itself is not just a random curse. According to Anwar, it emerges from ecological devastation and state and corporate exploitation. Having lost its homeland due to deforestation and greed, it inhabits Dimas with a clear objective: to find those responsible. In that sense, the supernatural element is directly tied to very real anxieties about corruption, environmental destruction, and systemic violence. That said, this is where the film becomes somewhat uneven. Anwar's intention to critique government structures and social decay is evident, perhaps too evident. At times, the dialogue feels less like natural exchanges between characters and more like the director's own voice breaking through. The commentary can be heavy-handed, almost on the nose, reducing some of the characters to mouthpieces rather than fully fleshed-out individuals. The same inconsistency applies to the humor. Anwar has often argued that laughter and discomfort can coexist and even enhance tension. Here, spontaneous dance-offs and exaggerated comedic beats are meant to underline the absurdity of survival in a broken system. While some of these moments are genuinely inventive and uniquely Indonesian in tone, others feel jarringly out of place in what could have been a tighter, more relentless horror narrative. The film might arguably have been stronger without certain comedic detours. Technically, however, Ghost in the Cell is impressive. The use of primary colors gives the prison an almost painterly quality, transforming grim corridors into stylized arenas of chaos. The cinematography accentuates both the claustrophobia of confinement and the theatricality of the murders. Editing maintains a brisk rhythm, especially during action sequences, ensuring that the film never loses momentum even when tonal shifts occur. Sound design also plays a crucial role. The contrast between silence before a kill and the explosive brutality that follows enhances the shock value. The musical cues during dance and prayer sequences further emphasize the strange coexistence of faith, art, and fear within the prison walls. In terms of performances, the ensemble is strong, but one actor stands out unmistakably. Bront Palarae is brilliant as the leader of the prison guards, embodying menace and institutional cruelty with chilling precision. His presence anchors the more grounded aspects of the narrative, making the corruption and sadism feel disturbingly real. The central inmates, particularly Ngoro and Dimas, navigate the demanding blend of horror, action, and absurdity with conviction, even when the script occasionally pushes them into overtly symbolic territory. Ultimately, Ghost in the Cell is a film of contrasts. When it leans into gore, action, and tightly structured suspense, it is exhilarating. When it embraces visual style and theatrical brutality, it is undeniably entertaining. But when it overstates its political message or forces humor into moments that call for dread, it falters. Still, this is unmistakably a Joko Anwar film, ambitious, provocative, and unwilling to separate genre from social commentary. It may not be flawless, but it remains a bold and often thrilling addition to his body of work and a striking entry in this year's Berlinale lineup. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and let us know in the comments what you think about Ghost in the Cell and Indonesian genre cinema in general.